Okay, so there was a little bit of wobble to it, and similar to the step stool or the keepsake box, you find which way it's wobbling, and the legs that go up and down and make your racket are the short legs, obviously, so you got to stay on the long ones. Now, I don't have a nice flat steel metal surface big enough for even your coffee tables. You know, obviously mine's a little narrower for my own, but when I bring it into this kind of smooth concrete, it's probably about the best we're gonna get. And that's pretty level. Okay, so that's how you level it out. Now, there was one other thing I wanted to show you before we do just like touch-ups with stuff. So for the cracks in the top, the air nail holes, you're just going to use this wood filler. Just take a small little dab and just kind of press it in there, smear it a little bit. You're going to let that dry for a little while, and then you're just going to hit it with some 220, I'd recommend. And like I said, you can do that for if you got any cracks or any gaps in your 45s, nail holes, if your trim is just off by a little bit, that's what you're going to use. I don't think I have to do a video on that. What I did want to do one last video of before off camera, I'll touch all that stuff up, get ready for stain. So the next video will be staining. But we still have some sharp edges I want to clean up. And so here I've got a little router. It's got a really small round over bit, and it's got a really small portable router that goes with it. So what we're going to do here is hit this inside surface, so all four of these, and then this U shape here, so 1, 2, 3, and then we're also going to hit these outsides of the leg corners. Okay, a couple things. One, this router won't be able to get to the very bottom here. You'll see that, you know, it's going to end up short, so you will have a little bit of hand sanding to do there. Second, you don't want to round this edge or this edge, so when you're coming up, you want to come straight off. Okay, so don't go oops and then go round over. Same thing here. You go straight up, straight up. Last, watch out for the bearing dropping into these holes, these counter bores, and then ends up leaving like a divot right here. So one advantage of doing this upside down the way you see me doing it is that I'll be able to see that and I can skip those. Or what I can do, even better, I'll get close, I'll get like here, and then for those actual spots, I'll flip it and do that. Because what's the difference between that round and that round? Nothing. So, you know, preferably I like this way because I got that large flat surface that'll help keep me square. Trying to use a flat surface on that narrow 3/4 is going to be more difficult, but I don't want to fall into those holes, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, this smaller router still is very dangerous, still don't want to get caught up in anything. However, because it's more portable, you can use it with one hand stuff, I will amend the lift it up and do stuff rule. Just be really, really careful. Don't set it down while it's spinning, that kind of stuff. Just be mindful of this one, but obviously you kind of need to be a little more portable with a portable one. So anyway, it is adjustable. I usually stay at a higher speed. It cuts nicer. So we'll do a couple, and then I'll cut and do the rest off camera. Couple of clamps probably would be a good idea. I thought the carpet squares would keep it from sliding around, but apparently not. then straight up. Straight up. Watch your cable. You miss a spot, you wobble, just go over it again. A little uneven spot there, because my table keeps moving on me. You don't have to do the inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you work your way around. Now obviously you already did that corner. Yeah, definitely recommend clamping your project down. So a little more than halfway done. A couple of things, you know, if you run into a spot and stall like I did, you might get a burn mark or two to sand off, not a big deal. Right in the corners, you know, it's a round bit, so it's not gonna do the corners all that great, so you might wanna take a little bit of time with some maybe 120 or 80 grit. And then again, it's not gonna do these little spots here. So anyway, I'm going to finish the other two off camera here. I will use some of that wood filler on the top, fill the nail holes, and then let it dry for a bit, sand all that stuff down. And we'll give it a once over with 220. You can either use 220 by hand, that's probably what I recommend, but I do have 220 on the electric palm sanders if you want to do that. And we'll be ready to stain here. That'll be the last video we do. Shouldn't need to explain poly, you guys have already done that a couple times. So, all right, I'll see you at the staining area.